I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I never do this, but I'm asking you to make an exception. Impressed, like I realized when I was talking to them how ignored they've been by...
Meg Ryan, the sweetheart of the world, shocked Hollywood, and her love turned America against her because she loved the wrong person. Meg Ryan, a globally admired actress, shocked the entertainment industry when she was discovered to have an affair with Russell Crowe while still married to actor Dennis Quaid. But that affair did more than just destroy a family. It completely destroyed the image of Meg Ryan, a symbol of love in the eyes of fans. Click follow to discover the secrets that Hollywood has kept hidden for so long. Throughout the 1990s, the name Meg Ryan was almost synonymous with American-style love, sweet, simple, and slightly clumsy, the kind of romance that millions of viewers dreamed of. She was the ideal girl next door, a familiar face who appeared every Valentine's Day in classic romantic films like When Harry Met Sally, 1989, Sleepless in Seattle, 1993, and You've Got Mail, 1998. Meg Ryan was the perfect role model everyone wished for. But then, in 2000, everything changed in an instant. A sudden media explosion completely destroyed that image. Meg Ryan was exposed for having an affair with Russell Crowe, her co-star in Proof of Life. The issue wasn't just about a new romance, but the fact that she was still married to Dennis Quaid, a famous actor who was equally beloved. This love affair quickly became headline news, not just because of its shock value, but because the central figure was Meg Ryan, the woman once considered a symbol of love in the eyes of the American public. The public's reaction wasn't just disappointment, it was outrage. How could a woman, who was seen as innocent, honest, and kind, betray her family like this? Meg Ryan tried to maintain her roles as a wife, mother, and friend in her marriage to Dennis Quaid, but when one person falls into silence, the other ends up feeling lonely, even within the comfort of their own home. Divorce is not just an emotional loss, but also a trade-off in terms of image and credibility. After their split in 2001, Meg not only lost a life partner, but also the welcoming embrace of Hollywood. The media did not forgive her, and her affair with Russell Crowe was relentlessly scrutinized, leading to her being labeled a traitor. Hollywood, once eager to embrace her, went silent, and major roles gradually disappeared. For years, Meg almost vanished from the screen, not because she had fallen out of love with acting, but because she needed time to heal from both emotional and professional wounds. In 2006, she adopted a baby girl from China, marking a new beginning for both her personal life and career. It wasn't just the heartbreak of a broken love, but the painful reality of being abandoned by an entire industry that once supported her. Those years were quiet, no headlines, no red carpets, just Meg and her private reflections. But she didn't let herself collapse. In 2006, Meg quietly adopted a baby girl from China, Daisy, a decision full of meaning. Daisy became the small light that helped Meg find her rhythm again, realize that she could still love, still give, and still be needed. After the emotional blow with Russell Crowe, Meg didn't rush into another public relationship. She rekindled an old flame with musician John Mellencamp, but they quietly broke up in late 2019. After all the losses, Meg understood that love isn't always something to hold on to tightly. Sometimes, love is simply a space where you can be yourself peacefully, without needing to prove anything. Meg's downfall didn't begin with her affair with Russell Crowe, but from a deeper fall, not caused by love. Meg Ryan's downfall didn't stem from romance, but from the gradual rejection by non-romantic relationships with directors, colleagues, and the media, those who were once an integral part of the Hollywood world where she once shined. These non-love relationships ultimately became the decisive factor in the irreversible decline of Meg Ryan's career. Before the scandal, Meg was the top actress beloved by romantic comedy directors in the 1990s. A prime example is Nora Ephron, the woman behind 3 of Meg's iconic films, When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, and You've Got Mail. Ephron was not just a collaborator but a close friend in the industry. She had publicly praised Meg as her muse, a kind of actress who could stir emotions without even trying. However, after 2000, Meg Ryan's name no longer appeared in any of Ephron's projects. That silence spoke louder than any official statement. In an industry where backstage relationships are a matter of survival, losing a mentor like Ephron was like losing the oxygen Meg needed to survive. And it wasn't just with directors. Meg's relationships with her male co-stars also began to cool. Tom Hanks, her most iconic on-screen partner in 2 blockbuster films, continued to thrive in his career, while Meg was completely pushed out of the Hollywood circle. Although there was no public conflict between them, Tom never showed any interest in reuniting with Meg on screen. Despite ongoing demand from fans, the film industry is incredibly brutal. When one half of a once-beloved duo becomes a publicity risk, the other half must choose silence to protect their brand. A cold decision, but completely understandable. As for the media, what was once a friendly relationship quickly turned adversarial. Meg Ryan had once been the darling of fashion magazines, late-night talk shows, and morning interviews. But after the scandal, her image became a symbol of silence, rejection, and coldness. In an interview at the Cannes Film Festival, when asked about her personal life, instead of handling it calmly, Meg responded sharply and coldly. The interview was later labeled a media disaster. As a result, she was removed from the guest lists of many major shows. In the entertainment industry, there's no room for a star who doesn't know how to play the media game. Meg also tried to revitalize her career through family connections, casting her son, Jack Quaid, in the lead role of the film she directed, Ithaca, 2015. It was an effort to rebrand herself as a multi-talented artist, but the response from both audiences and critics was largely negative. The film was criticized for lacking depth, being a pale imitation of past emotions, and Meg was labeled as an unconvincing director. Even in the world of independent cinema, which often embraces bold projects, she failed to gain solid support from producers. At 63 years old, Meg Ryan is still alive, still walking the red carpet, and hasn't given up on her silver screen dreams. More than 2 decades after the scandal with Russell Crowe and the collapse of her America's Sweetheart image, Meg made a surprising comeback in 2023 with the film What Happens Later, where she not only starred but also took on the roles of screenwriter and director. This was a clear effort by a seasoned star trying to regain control of her public image after years of being cast into the shadows of Hollywood and the media. The film didn't make a huge splash at the box office, but it was seen as a strategic move, a step back toward the rom-com genre that once propelled her to fame. And she didn't stop there. Meg appeared radiant at the 2025 Academy Awards, returning after nearly 27 years. She took the stage alongside Billy Crystal, her legendary co-star from When Harry Met Sally, to present the Best Picture award, evoking memories of a golden era. No one could deny it. This was a meticulously calculated media moment, as Meg chose to return not through scandal, but through carefully curated nostalgia. As expected, Meg Ryan's image was splashed across magazine covers from fashion publications to major media outlets. Praise and criticism followed. Debates about plastic surgery, age, and whether she was still the same version of herself ensued. But at the very least, she had made the media say her name once again. Simultaneously, Meg joined a 2025 Super Bowl commercial campaign, a space reserved for names strong enough to carry brand weight. Her on-screen reunion with Billy Crystal in a lighthearted TV spot wasn't just a PR move. It was a statement. She knows who she once was, and now she's using that very image to reclaim public attention. Still, it's undeniable that Meg Ryan today is no longer an irreplaceable icon. She is now a piece of nostalgia, trying to reconnect with a middle-aged audience who once grew up with her. New projects like Good Sex on Netflix may offer Meg Ryan a chance to reclaim her name in the streaming era, but the question remains: do audiences still want to see Meg Ryan in the world of modern romantic comedies, where old values might no longer fit? Can the sweet, innocent image of the girl we once adored still captivate in an industry that's constantly evolving? If you've ever loved Meg Ryan, if you remember those quiet nights watching Sleepless in Seattle, or if you still can't forget that unforgettable smile in You've Got Mail, then don't forget to hit subscribe now to stay up to date with all the stories about Meg Ryan and the stars who once lit up the screen. We'll continue to bring you the truest, coldest, yet most thought-provoking stories about the stars who once conquered the public's hearts and illuminated the world of cinema. Untold stories, hidden secrets, all of which will make you see Hollywood in a new light, both dreamy and ruthless. Meg Ryan, the famous actress who captured the hearts of audiences through a series of romantic films, has had a brilliant career and a turbulent life. With a delicate face and natural acting style, Ryan is known for classic works such as When Harry Met Sally, 1989, Sleepless in Seattle, 1993, and You've Got Mail, 1998. However, behind the halo of her Hollywood career, her life has many ups and downs, hidden corners that few people know about. Meg Ryan was born in Fairfield, Connecticut, and entered Hollywood in the late 1980s. After small roles, she made a strong impression with When Harry Met Sally, a film that brought her name to the top. Since then, Ryan has been known as the queen of romantic films, the ideal model that audiences love in gentle, sweet love stories. However, her personal life is not very peaceful. Meg Ryan married actor Dennis Quaid in 1991, but the marriage ended in divorce in 2001. Their separation was not only a huge shock to fans, but also a hot topic in the press, with many rumors and criticisms about her relationship afterwards. After the divorce, Meg Ryan continued to face challenges in her love life. Her relationship with singer John Mellencamp, while equally high-profile, also ended in separation shortly after. These tumultuous relationships made Meg Ryan a symbol of failed love in the public eye, and also the subject of baseless rumors. In addition to the problems in her private life, Meg Ryan's career also encountered many difficulties. In the mid-2000s, when she was already a big name, she began to withdraw from the screen, not participating in many big projects. In addition, Meg Ryan also faced criticism about her real-life image. She was suspected of having plastic surgery, especially the obvious changes on her face, making many people regret the loss of her natural beauty that was her trademark. Thank you for watching the video. Please watch our next videos. Thank you and see you again.